Well, it's time for the December 2024 batch review for SML. November was a pretty rocky month, but maybe, just maybe, December was better. The Alien Attack. Well, the Alien Attack was a video which had decent moments. We have the Dr. Finkelshit scene, which I thought was pretty decent. This scene where General, actually I don't know his name, so he's being called General now, goes to try and shoot down the UFO, but simply fails altogether. We also got the aliens from Toy Story, and even Emperor Zurg. This would have been an easy place to have Woody, even just for a brief cameo. Also, hey, these seem like the aliens that were Rosalina's parents. Are they still technically roses, though? Oh yeah, also that was basically the entirety of the Alien Attack portion of the video, except for that one portion in the middle where General gets blown up. The aliens show up, steal Brooklyn Guy's Taco Bell, and that's basically it. I want to like this video, I really do, but I feel like the video is mostly just not a ton happening, interspersed with actually pretty creative moments. For example, the failed UFO takedown scene was pretty funny, except for the part where we had to sit through a bunch of General talking, both before and after he took off. Or how about the scene with the Toy Story aliens, where we get a couple minutes of the characters just sitting around thinking of what to do, but also not really doing much. This video is overall a 4 out of 10, since it was just sort of okay. I don't despise this video or anything, and I think it really does have some good moments, but the problem is that in order to get to those good moments, you have to sit through a bunch of not much happening. It isn't the worst video ever, but it really isn't all that great, and just feels underwhelming. For a video about an alien attack, you would think a lot more would be done with this, but instead, not much actually happens. Goodman's Bodyguard. So this video I'm sort of mixed on, like it seems a lot of people are. We'll say there are two distinct portions of this video. The first just over half of the video where Goodman is looking for bodyguards to hire, and the second slightly less than half of the video where Goodman has hired Mario to be his bodyguard. Strangely though, I think that I like the second portion better compared to the first, while it seems for many people it's the other way around. I think my biggest issue with the first portion of this video is that not a lot is really done with these characters like they should have been, instead just showing up for at most not even 2 minutes at a time, and making them feel more like clickbait than anything else. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see these characters again, but more should have been done with them. My suggestion would probably be to replace a segment with Mario entirely, and instead have Goodman give each bodyguard candidate a test. So instead, Shrek, for example, is guarding Goodman at the gas station and helps to defeat the robber by, I don't know, sitting on him or something. Craig could drag the assassin at the bank down to hell. Just sort of creative ideas like that for each character. The second portion of this video was decent enough because of the creative ideas, with Mario being forced to act as Goodman's bodyguard, since it's actually a neat idea since he has no idea what on earth he should be doing in the first place. Mind you, I don't think this segment is great or anything, but it's decent all the same. Overall though, this video is a 4.5 out of 10. The beginning of this video and the borderline clickbait nature of it dragged the video down, and while I think Mario being a bodyguard was sort of unique, it doesn't really change the fact that this would have been a lot better with the different characters being utilized far more. Jeffy's Pet Squirrel. This was a video that I decided not to watch for a reaction because I heard that it was just okay, which, yeah, that's actually fairly accurate. I don't think it's a bad video, though I'm pretty sure it's a reference to Peanut the squirrel that got killed for some reason. I thought Chef Pee Pee in this video was okay, though maybe a bit overboard. The scene with Jeffy naming the squirrel was a bit annoying, and the scenes with Brooklyn Guy actually weren't too bad. I don't think Brooklyn Guy really overstayed his welcome or turned into filler guy here, but I feel like this video is just okay and more or less existed, which is why it's getting a 3.8 out of 10. It really just felt like the video was there for the sake of it being there and not much else. It sure did exist, and that's about it. It had annoying moments, but for the most part it was just fine. Junior's Big Hero 6 Problem. Upon initially watching this video, I actually thought it was quite decent. I get it, this is the whole Logan doesn't like Big Hero 6 joke again, but if I'm being honest, I think it was done in a somewhat creative way for this video. I think upon rewatching the scenes with John Fortnite, which is still what I'm calling him, were somewhat decent, though they did sort of drag on after a while. Not terribly so, but enough for it to start becoming slightly irritating. I think the only problem with this video was that once John Fortnite was introduced, that was just the majority of the video after that. This video is honestly a 5 out of 10. While I liked it more upon initial viewing, I still think the video is decent enough. I think that both the best and worst portions of this video happen to be the John Fortnite sections. It was decent when it started out, but then just went on and on. Also, the Nintendo animation was pretty decent, so that helped the video at least. The Santa heist. Warning! Warning! We have crossed the Christmas threshold. That means all of the remaining videos this month are Christmas related. Like, literally all of them. Okay, with that out of the way, let's continue with the review. So to start off, what on earth is this 90s CGI opening from, and why is it here? I don't even think it's bad, though it's just a bit jarring to see out of nowhere. Apparently Goodman owns the North Pole, by the way, so Santa has to pay in order to be able to stay there, so he has to go do a heist with... Dougie. I'll just spoil this right now and say that every single Dougie scene was weak in this video and dragged this video down a bit. But what about the rest? Well, actually it was decent. It was another one of those videos with Santa in a sort of fish out of water scenario. It helps that I think this video sort of reminded me of Mario the Gangsta in that regard. I thought the bank scene where Santa calmly says to the teller exactly what they plan to do was pretty funny, and the gas station scene was good as well. In fact, even the Judge Chris / Pablo / Poobie scene was pretty good, as well as the jail scenes, even if the jokes for the latter were a bit obvious. So you know what? 6.5 out of 10. While I don't think it was the greatest video ever, it was actually pretty decent. I just wish more had been done with the video, and Dougie... Okay, honestly, Dougie really just dragged this video down, and it's disappointing because it was otherwise a decent video. Brooklyn Guy's Christmas Tree. First of all, in the beginning of this video, Rose mentions a mall Santa job that Mario had apparently quit. Huh, I wonder what that's all about. Anyway, in this video, Brooklyn Guy steals a Christmas tree. But it was actually done in a really funny way, such as how Brooklyn Guy gets into the house to steal a tree, how he steals the tree with the help of Simmons, and then literally just doesn't help at all. The scene with Brooklyn Guy at the door was also good, and even the scene with Mario stealing the Christmas tree back, all before Brooklyn Guy and Mario have to fight over the tree at the end of the video. Of course, then they come to a resolution at the end of the video, which was nice to see. Honestly, 7 out of 10 video. It was actually funny most of the way through the video, and while not the most creative video ever, it was pretty good all the same. When I saw the title for this video, I thought this video was going to be bad, but upon watching it, and now rewatching it, I'd say this video is good. My only real complaints are that the beginning was a bit long, and the scene with Jeffy went on a bit longer than it needed to, so I think that knocked the video down a bit. A good video otherwise, though. The Mall Santa. Remember at the beginning of the last video when Rose mentioned a Mall Santa job for Mario? I'm pretty sure these videos were completed out of order, and it actually feels like that's the case for a few videos in the latter parts of December as well. That isn't a complaint, but just an observation. Back to this video though, honestly, another pretty good video. I think that the Mall Santa boot camp went on a little bit long upon rewatching this video, but it was still funny all the same. And I actually liked the change to slightly more threatening Santa in this video. He's still calm, but also serious here. As for the portion with Mario as the Mall Santa, well, we had Mikey, who was slightly annoying, but not badly so, I suppose. Jeffy, who... Yup, sure did exist in this video, and was also annoying. And then we have... Oh no, not Dougie again. Yeah, okay, he was really annoying. Ironically, I think this Mall Santa portion is probably the weakest part of the video, simply due to how the characters they choose for this segment would get worse and worse. Although we did get to watch Mikey get pepper sprayed. Speaking of which, this gets Chris... Wait, his name is Dave now, sorry. In trouble, to which Santa literally shoots him, which was funny due to how unexpected it was. This entire Santa chase moment towards the end of the video, while short, was pretty funny as well. So yeah, this video isn't quite as good as the previous one, simply due to the actual Mall Santa part, which took up a not insignificant portion of the video, and it was the weakest part. But all around, it's a 6.5 out of 10. Not a bad video by any means, and still pretty decent, so long as you skip the main point of the video. The Christmas Play. Before watching this video, I was also told to watch the other videos in the school play series, and having watched those, the first two were decent, and the third one was actually pretty good. And this fourth one was actually really funny. The main reason was due to just how many jokes came entirely out of left field. I didn't expect things like Jeffy coming in wearing a P. Diddy mask, or the scene where they sing a different rendition of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. I sort of expected a Cody x Timmy bit, which I certainly didn't miss, but even with that scene, the cuts to the audience reactions made it pretty funny. The song with Joseph explaining how he'll steal TVs was actually somewhat catchy. I'm not going to dock points for this next portion, but Junior and Joseph's puppets looking weird like that was actually somewhat distracting. As for a score for this video, probably a 7.8 out of 10. It was actually quite good, with my only complaint being that there was a bit in there where they were simply on the red couch talking. It was short, but I honestly would have preferred that they had simply jumped straight to the main portion of the video. Overall though, this was quite a good video. The Grinch Happy Meal. And here's another video that I didn't watch because I heard it wasn't all that good. And wow, yeah, this video really wasn't all that good. Most of it consisted of talking and filler, as a matter of fact. We had the scene with Angry Ronald trying to work out a deal with Santa, and then later on the Grinch, which was an okay enough part of the video, even if I think it overstayed its welcome. Oh, but then we get to what's basically one long red couch segment with Junior, Joseph, and Cody talking about how there's a Grinch Happy Meal. At least the Nintendo segment was in here that was actually somewhat entertaining. Otherwise, barely anything happens in this video until towards the very end of the video, when they leave out the last can of Who Hash, but the Grinch can't get to it because he gets shot. And honestly, that scene was somewhat funny. Well, the Grinch part, that is. The setup with the Who Hash went on far too long though, and it was just boring. I'll say that the Grinch was played decently in this video compared to the Grinch video from last year. Oh right, and we can't forget Junior and Cody going to the North Pole for some reason. Look, this is a 2.5 out of 10. I can't really say I enjoyed this video. In fact, this is probably the worst video so far due to just how boring and filler heavy it is, with the only highlights being the Nintendo animation, the scene with the Grinch, and actually I think that's about it. It's a shame too, since we had a few pretty decent videos in a row, and then this video just ruined a decent streak. The Rudolph Problem. Well, this video was just okay? Yeah, this was the Christmas special for the year, and this video actually doesn't really involve Rudolph all that much, with it instead being about Santa getting drunk, though he does run over Rudolph, and then he just sort of gives up on Christmas entirely. I thought the scene with Officer Brooklyn Guy and Simmons was somewhat funny, and honestly I'll say that the ending saved this video, with it being a parody of the Obi-Wan vs. Anakin fight scene. While obviously not the most inspired thing ever, that was pretty funny to see. And I think that's actually about it. This video is only going to be able to get a 4 out of 10. That ending is doing a lot of heavy lifting for this score, by the way, because while I don't think it was a bad video or anything, it felt like the video just sort of existed and not much more. I guess the one other thing I'll give this video was Santa saying, "fuck 'em," to literally every other region of the world that he couldn't drive to was funny. But yeah, that's really all I can give this video. And oh right, where would I place this in my earlier top SML Christmas specials video? Probably around 9th or 10th place, maybe 8th at best. It wasn't a bad video, and it did have its funny moments, but it was mainly just uninteresting. Satan Claus. Oh boy, a Craig video, which was just fine. Yeah, I think some of this video was certainly creative, but I really think more could have been done with it. I will say that these Huckerdee segments were surprisingly more tolerable than normal. I thought the scenes with Craig getting prank called were also fine, and honestly that goes for most of this video. I did enjoy the reference back to the previous video with Jeffy. Also, there's this weird bit that begins partway through the video where Craig just starts turning Italian for some reason. Overall though, this video's another 4 out of 10. It was just okay, but not amazing. I think more could have been done with this idea, maybe having it be an alternate spin on the previous video, with Craig delivering all the presents instead, but successfully, even though he doesn't want to because Christmas celebrates Jesus. What we got here was an okay video that had a couple of funny moments, but that's about it. Santa's Revenge. And the final SML video of 2024 was this one, where we got more Santa. I mean, that's okay. Unfortunately, Santa's upset because his wife left him, so Brooklyn Guy suggests they, oh no, go to Applebee's, and then later on the strip club, and of course they bring Mario in tow. I mean, seriously, because he's sad about losing his wife, they go to Applebee's, Brooklyn Guy annoys the waiter for too long. Whoops. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. I was showing the wrong video there for a moment. Yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, this is a near identical copy of Pac-Man's Divorce from way earlier in 2024. We got a character showing up explaining that they're sad, they go to Applebee's, and later on the strip club, and then the situation gets resolved by the sad character just killing the problem. And okay, look, to be fair to this video, it was funnier than Pac-Man's Divorce. I liked where Santa would ask for something, and then after the waiter would respond, he'd just say, okay, and continue reading. That was funny a couple of times. I thought that there was far less arguing and Brooklyn Guy simply taking over the video here. And the scenes at Brooklyn Guy's house where Santa just shows up and watches Brooklyn Guy and steals all of his cookies were good and unique. However, that still doesn't change the fact that this video was a rehash of one from earlier, not even a good video from earlier, and that despite some of the positives, this video just wasn't all that great. I'll give it a 4 out of 10 because it gets points back for what it did right, such as a decent enough Nintendo animation, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to save the video from mainly being a rehash. Yeah, this is a rather underwhelming final 2024 video. Well, now it's time for this month's final score, which is a 4.9, but we'll round that up to a more normal score of a 5 out of 10. Oh my goodness, we actually did it! That's the halfway mark! A month of SML videos made it to the halfway mark finally! This month unfortunately started out pretty rough, and also ended pretty rough too. It's a shame because in the middle there, we were actually getting some pretty good videos, but then it all just sort of came to a screeching halt. Seriously, the Grinch Happy Meal crashed this month badly, and I don't think it ever really recovered, which is unfortunate. I will applaud the good videos we did get in this month, and while not all of them were perfect, they were certainly enjoyable to watch and then rewatch. Sadly, I can't say the same for the other videos this month, as while there were only a couple of videos I actually disliked, the ones that weren't good were just sort of boring. Not even badly so, of course, since you could tell that they tried. Well, okay, maybe except for the Grinch one. But aside from that, I can tell that there were generally some genuine attempts in here, and it just so happened that not everything landed. Seriously, even videos which were just okay like Satan Claus, even if they didn't pan out, I could tell they were at least aiming for something different instead of just red couch for 15 minutes on end. So good job, Logan. The effort really is appreciated. Well, that's all for now. Thank y'all for watching, and take care.
Monkey! I wanted to see you, Monkey! I'm gonna kill you, Monkey!